Hey, Miss Ma'am, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this one, okay? You have not yet become the woman of your dreams because you still are too afraid to leave that little girl from your nightmares. So in this video, I'm going to give you 8 habits that a lot of young women learn too late when they are becoming grown and that sometimes really hold them back in life. The first one is stop putting burdens on other people of feelings that you can't even give to yourself. This one is very imperative that you understand when you're young because this can do with future you or this can literally mean for other individuals. Now, first, when we're thinking about future us, the burdens we put on that person, the thing is, we always tell ourselves, once I get this degree, I'll be more confident. Once I start this business, I'll be happy. Once I move out of this city, I'll be more grateful. And the thing that we don't understand is we put our future self at such a high pedestal that we basically tell our current self that they're not good enough. Not only are they not good enough, we actually tell them it's okay that they're not good enough. It's okay that you're not confident. It's okay that, you aren't grateful and you aren't these things because future us, right? Once we achieve this certain thing, we'll have that feeling. And so we put so much burdens on this achievement that future us will give to us. And I think that's a messed up feeling. And I think we start seeing it a lot too, right? Because if you think about it, we've seen it happen with social media. We've seen it happen with celebrities, these social media influencers that have all of this money, yet they say they're unhappy. They have all of these accolades. They have all of these riches. They have all these things and they're unhappy. Why? Because they were already an unhappy person that thought if they got something else, it will make them happy. They put the burden of achieving this thing to give them a sense of a feeling they never felt before. We see the same thing with people who win the lotto. Everybody who wins the lotto, these are people who win millions of dollars, literally go broke within a few years. Why? Because they told themselves, oh, I know I'm not good at money management right now. I know I don't really know how to make money. I know I really don't even know how to keep money. But once I get more of this thing, then that's when I'll learn how to do this thing. And that never happened because they never gave that feeling of knowing how to do this thing to their current self. They never appreciated their current self enough. And so they weren't able to give it to their future self. And another unfortunate time that this happens is with other people, right? I know some women who get into relationships knowing that they're not confident, knowing that they really don't believe in themselves, but they look for that in a man. When their man tells them they look nice, when their man tells them they can go after things, when their man tells them they can do something, they really feel like they can do that thing. And I know that feels great, but at the same time, I personally feel like I'm not putting that burden on nobody. I'm not putting the weight of my confidence, the weight of me feeling like I can do something on somebody else, because what if that person doesn't give you confidence? Or what if that person takes it away? And so you have to go into a relationship. I already have confidence. I already have self-worth and all these other things. And all you're going to do is add to it. And one of the most unfortunate times I've seen this, and this is no disrespect to mothers because I personally think being a mother is the hardest job in the world. But I've literally seen women who do not love themselves and have children and expect their children to give them love. Expect when they have children, that's when they're going to start being there for themselves. That's when they're going to start loving themselves. And they put the burden on that little baby. They put the burden on that child to give them something they never experienced before. And then they try to give a love to that child that they've never even experienced before. And they don't even really know how to give. And so I want you to think about that. With anything that you want to do in life, you have to be willing, any feeling you want to have, you have to be willing to learn how to give it to your current self. Do not put the burden of a feeling. Do not put the burden of happiness, confidence, gratitude, nothing on nobody else or anything else, because a lot of times it doesn't work out the way you want it to. And I've seen so many women get to a point in their life where people expect them to be confident. I'm talking about mothers. I'm talking about even some of my grandmothers. On the outside, they look confident. On the outside, they look happy. On the outside, they know what they're doing. But in the inside, they never learned how to give that feeling to themselves. And they thought once they got married, once they had kids, once they got that degree, once they got that job, and they realize, and sometimes it feels like it's too late when they get to a certain age of being 40, 50, and they're like, wait, I still not happy. I'm still not confident. Because you put that burden on someone else of a feeling you weren't even prepared for or ready to give to yourself. The next one is understanding health as well. This is honestly one of the most important things that too many women learn too late. It's because when we're young, I'm gonna be honest, you always feel like you're gonna have all this energy. You always feel like you're gonna be, feeling this way. You always feel like you're essentially going to be young. And it's not until we have health scares and things happen that you're like, oh wait, now I have a problem. Oh wait, now I have to fix something. Oh wait, now I can't live the life that I wanna live because now I have these barriers around doing certain things. And unfortunately, this is what happened to me. When I left my mom's house, when I graduated, I stopped going to my doctor's appointments as much because my mom wasn't taking me no more. And it's not even my proudest moments, but I even stopped going to the dentist as much because my mom, forget as much, I wasn't going because my mom wasn't taking me anymore. She wasn't booking my appointments, and she was the one that did that. And it wasn't until I literally had a health scare of being scared and having to go to the doctor and figuring out what's wrong with me that I was like, okay, I need to start going to the doctor regularly. Like, I can't allow this thing to get worse or happen again. It wasn't until I literally had a toothache that I was like, okay, I need to go to the dentist because I don't know what's going on and I'm too young to have, messed up teeth. And I think it's crazy because in between that time period, though, I was buying new shoes. I was buying new clothes. I was buying skincare. Like, I was doing all these things on the exterior to keep myself up, to keep myself young, to, be happy. But on the interior, I literally was crumbling and I didn't understand it. And so it made me buy more skincare because I'm like, my skin is messed up. It made me buy more stuff for working out because I'm like, okay, there's something going on in my body. I don't have energy. When I didn't realize all I had to do was literally go and book an appointment to find out what was wrong with me. And I think one thing that really taught me is I cannot care for myself until I genuinely care about myself. I can't say I care for myself because I buy myself this and I wear this and I wear that if I don't even genuinely care about the inside, which is me. And so my sponsor for today's video can help you do just that. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click instantly to book an appointment. From mental health, dental health, eye care, skincare, and so much more, all you have to do is find doctors that take your insurance, are located nearby, are a great fit for any medical you may need, and schedule an appointment at a time that works for you to instantly book an appointment. Listen, if you are tired of being that little girl that only cares about how she looks and what people think about her, but you're ready to turn into that woman that cares about how she feels and how she thinks about herself, you need to go and book that doctor's appointment. I don't want to hear that you're waiting to the new year. You need to prioritize your health now if you're serious about taking yourself serious. So I'm going to need you to go to ZocDoc.com/Chamiah, which will also be located in the description below, to instantly book an appointment with a top-rated doctor today. The next one is get your own business. And I think this one is very imperative when you're transitioning to become a woman, because when you are younger, you want to feel part of a community, right? When you are younger, you play in group sports, you have your clique at school, like there's just this community group thing. And so when it comes to the things that you do, you share these things with everyone because you are constantly around other people. And the things that you don't share are usually the things that you're embarrassed about, you're possibly ashamed about, and you want to keep a secret. And the problem that has when you get older is that you subconsciously convince yourself that you have to tell everyone everything unless it is something bad. And when I say everyone, I'm not saying every single person, but I'm saying like your close friends, your best friends, or maybe for some people that's only one or two people. Nonetheless, the problem is you don't understand that by telling everyone everything, you never give yourself a chance to process things. See, there are some young women now that can go through something at work and be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till Keisha get off work. When she get off work, I'm about to tell her what my coworker did. There can be a thing if you having money problems. You're like, oh my gosh, you know what? I can't wait to tell so-and-so because my landlord is acting funny and he know he shouldn't do this. There becomes a problem because you no longer begin to process things yourself. You wait upon and you sometimes become dependent upon someone else to come in, to step in, to help you process things. And I think it's imperative that you start getting your own business. Like, I'm at an age in my life where I don't tell my friends every single thing. And it's not because I'm ashamed about it or embarrassed about it or it's a secret, but because it's my own business. Like, for example, right? Me and my friend group, especially when it comes to guys and stuff like that, when you're younger, it's like, oh, this guy asked me out on a date and this guy DM'd me. Me and my friends at a certain age in life, literally, we can talk to a guy, go on a first date, and still not tell anyone, even though we're still best friends. But it's simply because unless it goes past that first date, what's the point of talking about it? What's the point of you asking me how did the date go if there's not going to be another one? What is the point of me telling you about all this stuff about him and then me going on a first date with him and not liking him? I have my own business. I have my own opinion about this individual, if I like them or not. I don't have no outside thoughts, no outside perspectives. So I can decide for myself, do I like this guy or do I not? And then if it goes past a first date, then we're like, oh, I went on a date with so-and-so with this guy and he's really nice. But also, it's not a secret. If my friend asks me, hey, what did you do yesterday? Oh, I went on a date with this guy. But it's not a thing of me having to tell everyone everything. And especially also with social media. There's this thing of posting everything. You get a new pair of shoes, you get a new car, and to a certain extent, I understand it because that's partially what social media is for. But I want you to understand you need to start getting your own business so you can become your own person. Every time you go through something, you don't have to tell people. And it could be good things too. It doesn't always have to be bad things, but sometimes it could be bad things as well. But the first thought that you should have when you go through something is, how am I going to deal with this? How am I going to process this? It should not be, who am I going to tell? And I can't wait to tell somebody, because what you're really telling yourself is, I don't trust you enough to deal with this. So let me get another opinion to figure out how this thing happens. And that's just one big thing I recommend everyone to start doing when they're getting older, and that a lot of women learn too late. The next one is, luck is opportunity plus preparation. I think this one is very imperative because I feel like when you're younger, there's this thing of being like, I'm just so unlucky and nothing happens for me and I'm just so unlucky. But once you understand there's literally an equation for it, you can break it down so you can make sure that you achieve it. I want you to understand most of the things that you have not gotten lucky on in life are because you simply weren't prepared for them. See, I think a lot of times people focus too much on the opportunity. Oh, if I had the opportunity, only if I had the opportunity, if I had the opportunity, if I had the opportunity. Well, essentially, this works for everything. See, the people that win the lotto, it's preparation plus opportunity. Yes, they did have the opportunity essentially to win the lotto because the lotto comes out every so often, but they prepared for that. Most people who win the lotto don't win it their first or second time. They've been playing years. They essentially were prepared for that thing. That girl that you saw grow on social media and get all these awards and accolades that you want to get and get on the Forbes 30 under, whatever. You know why she got that? Because she prepared for that thing. She was actually posting on that thing. And then when it came time to get the awards, the accolades, and grow, she was able to get that opportunity. And so I want you to start thinking about life like that. Like, stop looking at life like, I'm so unlucky and why am I so unlucky? Ask yourself, are you prepared to receive the opportunities that will come your way? Like, opportunities possibly already came your way and passed you, but essentially there's always opportunities in everything. And I think there's a mix of the two. And I vaguely think I did bring this up on my last video on this topic, but I really want you to understand, like, the majority of the reason, there's always exceptions to the rule, but probably 80% of the reason why you feel unlucky and you have not gotten lucky is simply because you never prepare yourself for the opportunity. So the biggest thing I want you to focus on is what preparation needs to be done. What opportunities do you want to be in front of? What are opportunities that you want to have for yourself? And then prepare for those things. Act as if the opportunity is already here. Act as if the person that would get those opportunities. So when that business comes around and they say, hey, we're giving out a $50,000 business loan to a woman-ran business, you only had to be open for 6 months. You like, oh, I've been open for 2 years. You get what I'm saying? When that brand trip comes around, they're like, oh, we want to get content creators who are realistic, and they post so-and-so kind of content. You like, I'm right here. But don't be that girl that's seeing other people get the loan, the grant, seeing other people get the trip, seeing other people get the luck that you essentially want for your life, and you just sitting back telling yourself you unlucky. No, you're not unlucky. You probably were just unprepared. The next one is, love is not enough if there is no trust, respect, and communication. I want you to understand that healthy relationships are built on respect. And I think this is a big one to understand with any relationship that you have in your life, is because a lot of times we throw the L word around, like, well, I love this person and I love this and I love that. And I want you to understand love can be blinding. Love can be a family member. Love can be a spouse. Love can be a friend. It can be so blinding that this person can treat you bad. This person cannot be good to you, but you allow yourself to stay in this situation. You allow yourself a lot of time to stay with toxicity. And I want you to understand a healthy relationship is based upon respect. I'm like, now in my life, I'm so big on respect. I don't care how long I've known you. I don't care like anything. I really have to ask myself, how much does this person respect me? Like, there's so many people in your life right now that probably don't respect you. There's so many relationships that you're in that are toxic. A lot of women are in such unhealthy relationships. If you base it upon respect, but a lot of times you base it upon love. Does this person communicate with you? Does this person, like, let's just be completely honest. If you tell this person you're not comfortable with doing something, do they still actually do that thing, or do they do that thing? If you tell this person you don't like something, do they continue to do this thing? And I think a lot of times too, we really have to reevaluate a lot of the relationships that we have in our life and ask ourselves, what is this relationship based upon? Is this a healthy relationship or is this a non-healthy relationship? And a lot of times a woman too, we want a little, like a lot of women want a little bit of toxicity. We want a little bit of, I hear it all the time. Oh yeah, my man would never let me wear this. My man would never this. My man would never that. But at the same time, I want you to really ask yourself, does that man really respect you? Like, don't get me wrong. I think it is definitely a mutual respect. But I think sometimes too, I know a lot of women that revolve their life around a man. They don't do certain things. They don't go certain places. They don't live their life because their man doesn't want them to do it. But at the same time, does he respect you enough to be like, yeah, babe, live your life. Yeah, babe, you young. Yeah, babe, you. But there's this thing, oh, my man won't let me do this. My man won't let me do that. Yeah, because your man don't respect you. A lot of women are in unhealthy relationships. And so I want you to ask yourself, are you really being blinded by love? And like I said, that's not just with men though. That's with friendships. That's even with family sometimes too. And I could create a whole video on that. There's so many people that are blinded by the love of their family because they're like, oh, my family, they would never treat me this way. They would never do this. Let's just be honest. Do they respect you? Leave plain and clear. And a lot of people know the answer to it. They just don't want to be honest with themselves about it because it hurts. And it's going to hurt. But you just have to be honest with yourself. How many look at all the relationships in your life and ask yourself, how many of them are really based upon a mutual respect? Or is it just you giving? The next one is listening is more powerful than speaking. This one is so imperative because a lot of times too, even when it comes to other people, right? The person that's the loudest, the person that speaks the most, is a lot of times we think the person that has the most courage, the person that, is the smartest. But I want you to understand, the more you are able to listen, the more power that you have over every situation. Even going back to the last topic that I talked about before with the love and all those other things, a lot of times too, you don't realize you're speaking at people so much and you're never listening. You're never paying attention to. Think about this. Somebody can say to you, thank you for helping me bring the groceries in the house. That'll give you one response. But if instead they say, thank you for helping me bring the groceries in the house, that'll give a different response. Because it's like, oh, wait, right? Based upon how they said it, based upon their influx of certain words. A lot of people don't understand you're surrounded by, thank you for helping me bring the groceries in the house type people. You're surrounded by people that possibly say things to you in a certain way that if you just stop speaking and you start listening, you will pay attention. Wait, that girl was never my friend. Wait, that person never respected me. Wait, that person never genuinely cared about me. But it's because you speak so much and then you just wait for them to say something back. And it becomes, I said in a lot of my videos, it becomes a ping pong effect. It becomes they say something, I say something. They say something, I say something. And one thing I really want you to understand is stop speaking so much. The person that is able to listen is the most powerful person in the room. The person that is able to have a conversation with somebody and ask them more about themselves instead of always trying to give themselves is the person that learns more. Like, stop always making it into a thing of, and I get it, it's your life. You're the main character, you. But I want you to understand, a lot of people don't understand this until it's too late. That's why if you think about it, a lot of old women don't really speak. Like, don't get me wrong, now if you let old people talk, they will talk. But at the same time, when you first get to know an old person, I don't know if people notice that, a lot of old people do not speak. But when young people get to know each other, it's a competition of who can speak the loudest and who can speak the most. When old people, if you've ever interacted with the elder, if you've even seen elders interact, they're very quiet at first. You know why? Because they're trying to fill the person out. They're trying to figure out, well, how are you? How you coming? A lot of times too, we don't even see full blitz. People are coming in our lives to destroy it. Full blitz. People are coming into our lives to break us down because we keep talking. I'm telling you. The person who can listen will always be more powerful than the person that always has to speak. The next one is the difference between an anchor problem and a gravity problem. And this actually holds a lot of people back because it wastes so much time. Now, an anchor, think about the problem like this, right? An anchor. What is an anchor? It's something that's very heavy, but you can pull up an anchor. It just takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of strength because it's very heavy. Now, gravity. Gravity is something that you cannot change. If, for example, right, I have my phone in my hand. If I let my phone go, it's going to fall because of gravity. There's nothing I can do. I can put something under it to try to, help the fall. But essentially, no matter what I do, if I let go of it, it's going to fall. I cannot change that thing. Anchor problems, I can change it. I can pick up an anchor. And so I want you to think about that when you're going through things in life. Like, is this an anchor problem or is this a gravity problem? For example, an anchor problem is I'm at a job that does not pay me good. There are some people who are at jobs that they know they don't like. They know don't pay them good, and they stressed about it every single day. They're telling their friends, they're writing in their journal, they're stressing over it. And they're like, oh, I don't like this job. I wish I could pay. They don't pay me enough. They don't pay me enough. They always talking about not getting paid enough. They always talk about feeling like they're undervalued, all these things, but they're not changing anything. Why? Because they're looking at it as if it is a gravity problem. No, that's an anchor problem. You can change that thing. So don't keep stressing about it as if you can't change it. You can do something about it. You just have to make sure you're looking at it correctly. Too many people look at it like it's a gravity problem and they can't change it. You can, but similar to an anchor, it's going to be hard. It's going to take some time, but you can change it. The same thing going for a gravity problem, right? Some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm turning 30 next year, or I'm turning 25 or whatever, some number they feel like is old or whatever. And they stress about it. That is a gravity problem. You cannot change the fact that you are getting older. But what does that mean that you are getting older, right? Get to the deeper point of it. Are you scared to get older because, you're like, I haven't experienced enough in life and you feel like you should have experienced more and done more at this age? Are you scared to get older because there's this thing of a lot of people around you are starting to get sick, or you get what I'm saying, start looking crazy at a certain age? Like, everybody has their own reasons, but essentially figure out, why do you feel this way about something that you can't change? Because if you keep dwelling on it, thinking that it's thinking that it's an anchor problem, thinking you can change it and you can't, you're going to keep wasting time again and again and again about something that you cannot change. And so I think that's one of the biggest things I recommend everyone to learn how to do and assess every problem that you have in your life. Ask yourself, is this a gravity problem or is this an anchor problem? Is this something that is going to take a lot of time, it's going to take a lot of energy, but I can change? Or is this something that I literally, no matter what I do, I cannot change this thing? So I need to change the way I think about this thing and my approach to this thing. The next one is, if this person never changes, am I willing to be okay with that? Or am I willing to be okay with them staying in my life? And I think this one is very imperative because I've realized I cannot change anything outside of myself. And I think a lot of people do this, whether it's friendships, whether it's relationships, that you think of the future way too often and you're not currently living in the current time. And I think it becomes this thing of like, oh, this person will change if I just stay longer, and this person will change. I've literally heard women say that this person that they're with, he's never experienced love before, so I just got to show him love and he'll change. And we have this mindset, but I want you to understand the only person that's going to change is you. A lot of times, a lot of women don't realize you stay in these relationships, you endure this pain, you endure all these things, that it literally changes who you are. You become a hurt person, and hurt people hurt people. You become a traumatized person. You become all these things that you never thought you would be because you forced yourself to stay in a situation that you were not honest with yourself about. But I think a piece of honesty that a lot of women have to just be honest with themselves with, I keep using that word, but is, am I willing to stay with this person? And will I be okay if this person never changes? Friendships as well. Like, don't keep thinking, oh, well, this person's just going through this and this person's just going. Like, a lot of times too, you have to pay attention to patterns for people. This is a pattern that this person keeps going through. This is a pattern that keeps happening. And so are you willing to stay in this thing? A lot of people stay in things for way too long for the future, because in the future it's going to change, because in the future it's going to be different, but it's probably not. Most people don't change unless they go through therapy or they go through a very traumatic event. And whether you're willing to give them either will be dependent upon if they change. But then also with that, you can't even make sure that happens. You know what I'm saying? There's no specific of when that's even going to happen. There's no specific of, and I don't know, I think this is one of the saddest things that I see so many women go through, is this mindset that this person will change for the future. And most people don't. I've rarely ever in my 24 years, and I know for some people that's not that long, but seen anybody really change so much so that I'm like, they're a whole new person. Of course, I've changed. I've seen people change and grow and evolve, but usually people just go more in the direction of the person that they were before. And you just have to be honest with yourself. And so if you think about it like that, it's possibly only going to get worse. But I don't know. I think that's just a conversation you need to have with yourself and really ask yourself, like, am I willing to keep this person in my life if they will never change? Will I be okay with that? Honestly and truly. Stop thinking about the person they can be and they could be and if they never change, because they possibly and probably more than likely won't. Technically, it's not their responsibility to change. Like I said, going back to the earlier one, it's your responsibility to be honest with yourself. And if you're not okay with it, leave. But thank you guys so much for watching my video. Those are just 8 things that I feel like a lot of young women learn too late. This is actually the second video to the series, so I will link the playlist at the end so you guys can watch the first one. Like I said before, honestly, I realize is the premise of it is really caring about you. It's really caring for yourself. It's really taking care of yourself. But as I said before, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And ladies, if you are serious about getting your life together like everybody said it is, you need to go below and book that free doctor's appointment before you pay all that money in a new year for the new skincare, the new this, the new that, the new journal, the new... Get that blood work done. Get that dentist appointment. Get all them appointments you need to, and then we can focus about the exterior. So thank you guys so much and have a great one.